Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We're on. Thank you, everyone, for joining tonight's Wisdom Dharma Chat. It's with great joy, because he wrote the book A Monk's Guide to Finding Joy. It's with great joy we welcome back Khangser Rinpoche to the Wisdom Dharma Chat. Thank you, Rinpoche, for joining us.
Thank you, thank you.
And I think everyone knows, but Rinpoche is a very, very important teacher in the Gelug school of Tibetan Buddhism. He's the vice-abbot of Guto Tantric Monastery, which means one day he will be head of the Gelug school, heading up the Ganden Tree chair. So thank you. It's a great honor to have you here, Rinpoche. And so we were thinking about what to talk about. We should talk a little bit about Rinpoche's book, which we published last year. But I was telling Rinpoche about a conversation that I had recently on the show, and I think many people were there as well, with Mingyur Rinpoche and Professor Thurman, and we were talking about different approaches to dealing with mental afflictions. And there we were talking about like a Sutra approach and a Tantric approach and a Dzogchen approach, and the Sutra approach being antidoting afflictions, the Tantric approach being transforming them, and then the Dzogchen and Mahāmudrā approach being like transcending them, I think Mingyur Rinpoche was talking about. And so I was talking about that with Rinpoche and thinking, maybe we could continue this conversation of how different ways of dealing with mental afflictions. And then Rinpoche made the comment that actually he thinks there's not so much difference between Sutra and Tantra, the approach. And I thought that was very fascinating. So we might start the conversation there, Rinpoche. And how do you see, this idea of dealing with mental afflictions? We were using the example anger, and how the Sutra approach and the Tantric approach are in accordance. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about that.
Now, though, we have to know that when we are saying the Sutra and the Tantra, first we have to look at from the originally what the Buddhist, his school, his text. And when you're dealing with a negative affliction, there are the many ways of how we deal with the negative affliction, especially when you deal with the negative affliction, dealing with it through that antidote, applying the antidote, the negative affliction, the antidote. The most important thing is that we should know the one thing that affliction is the negative affliction is that the antidote. Before applying the antidote, we should look at the root cause. What is the root cause of the negative affliction? Once we know the root cause, then only we can just apply the antidote. That is the first thing. Second thing is what the purpose of applying the antidote of the negative affliction. What is the purpose? You want to eliminate the negative thought, or you just want to reduce it? We have to find it at the purpose. What the Sutra and the Tantra, when they talk about applying the antidote, they were talking about eliminating it. So to eliminate the negative thought, what you need? To eliminate, just a very simple way. If you look at the great master Dharmakirti. Dharmakirti, he was a very logician and a very famous, the logician and the debater. And he had said the one thing that when you look at the cult, and if you want to eliminate the cult, what you have to do is you have to burn the fire. So same thing is that when you want to eliminate the negative affliction, then you need the antidote that which can destroy the root of that negative affliction. So that is how you have to amend the practice if you want to eliminate the negative affliction. Yeah.
So, for example, anger. The antidote to anger might be what, loving kindness meditation, or what would be the antidote?
That's very good. When you look at the anger, now we go a little bit deeper on it. Yeah. Loving and the kindness is I will not say that is an antidote. Loving and the kindness is just like a painkiller. It will just reduce your anger very short term. Yeah. But still the anger will come up. Because the loving and the kindness, it's not the antidote of the anger at all. It is just like to help you to reduce the anger for some time. So that's why the most important thing is here the one thing we should note that the antidote of the anger First, we have to know that what is the root cause of the anger. Anger comes from the self-cherishing attitude, or you can call it the self-grasping. So that's why if you want to find the ultimate antidote of the anger, that is the understanding the selflessness.
So the issue here is the same for all the afflictions then, right?
Sorry?
The issue is the same for, so if we say what is the root cause for anger, what is the root cause for pride, what is the root cause for jealousy, it's all the same. So there's no one unique thing that we address for anger.
Yeah.
It's all the same.
Yeah, all the same. Because it comes all from the self-cherishing attitude, or you can call it the self-grasping attitude. When you have a moment when you get the anger, before that you have such kind of a thought, maybe he or she hurt me. He or she done this and this to me.
Yeah.
He or she done this and this to my family. That always the anger will come, which the thoughts relate with the I and the my.
Yeah.
Moment when you realize that's a selflessness, then that will help you to reduce all those thoughts of the I and the my. Then there is no way of generating the anger at all.
Yeah. So that's going straight for the root of the problem.
That's right.
Okay.
I think that this is the very fundamental from all the Sutra and the Tantra everywhere.
Yes.
So that's why every of the Tantra practice, when you practice with any deity, the first word can Om Subhava Shuddha Savadama Subhava Shuddha Hang. What is talking? It's talking about the emptiness.
Yeah.
Subhava Shuddha Sarvadama Subhava Shuddha Hang. All the things are not inherently existed. So that's why the understanding of the emptiness, understanding the selfless is very important in the Sutra and the Tantra.
It's interesting you bring up this mantra. And the, Shuddha, in this mantra, like purity. It doesn't actually say emptiness, right? Or it doesn't say, it talks about purity. So what's the relationship between purity and emptiness? So Om Subhava Shuddha Sava. This mantra is talking about, it seems to be talking about
Shuddha
purity.
is not, Shuddha means generally it's been the pure, it's a pure from the inherently existed. Yes. Now here it comes the one important thing is that when we talk about the emptiness, what is the emptiness?
Yeah.
What is the emptiness? If you go to what is the emptiness? A very simple way. Like if you look at a self. Self is not exist from the itself. That is the emptiness. Yeah. To understanding the self is not exist from the itself. Very simple way.
Yeah. So understanding the self does not exist from itself.
Yeah.
So then when we read Lam Rim, for example, and we have all these meditation practices, if you have discursive thought, you do breath meditation, and you do loving kindness. What's going on there if, really the real problem is this grasping to self? Is this stuff we should do both styles of meditation to eliminate these things?
So I could not get
So in Lam Rim, in Lam Rim you can have, like in Lam Rim Chenmo, there's some advices for different types of meditation.
Okay, yeah.
And so if you have like lots of thinking, then you do breath meditation. If you have something else, you do this type of meditation. Yeah.
So now here you have to understand the one thing that the Lam Rim is such a practice. It is not for it is not just a practice for some peoples. It teaches a practice for all the peoples. Yeah. All the people. What I mean is the people. Some just want to reduce the anger. Some just want to have the joy for the few moments, but not that serious to go and eliminate all the negative emotions. For them in the Lam Rim, also they have some kind of meditation for introduce these people. These people we call the small school. Then the medium school, who want to go more deeper than that. Deeper than that they would just want to eliminate all the negative afflictions. Yeah. So they have a meditation for them also. So that's why if you look at the Lam Rim, it is a very full package of the different meditation. So people used to ask me, what is the best meditation? So I always tell that the best meditation, the knowing of the so many meditation, that is the best meditation. If you know hundreds of the meditation, different meditation, that is the best. Yeah. So that's why the Lam Rim has come with a lot of different meditation. It's a different meditation techniques. It once not work, you can try with the other. Yeah. So that's why there's a very nice saying, doing the same thing and the expecting the different result is the stupid.
Yes, yes.
So same thing, that's why if you want meditation and the introduce, if you do it again and again 100 years, you will get the same result, nothing, because you are doing the same thing. So that's why if you look at the Lam Rim, they have bring with several hundred of the different meditations. So yeah.
So this is very nice, Rinpoche. So what we're learning here is that Sutra, Tantra, whatever system you're in, actually the problem it's trying to solve is the same problem. And that problem is, grasping to the self.
Yeah.
And so then there must be some difference, right, of approach. So what is the difference? How would you describe the difference between a Sutra approach to eliminating grasping to self and a Tantric approach?
Actually, the Tantra and the Sutra approach, I will not say that there's a difference.
Wow.
It's the same approach.
Yeah.
But it is using the same method. But only the difference between the Sutra and the Tantra is that the Tantra talks about how we can develop the consciousness.
Yeah.
That is the difference. So the approach is same. Even if you go to the Sutra, even you go to Tantra, you have to meditate emptiness. But in the Sutra, they will not talk about a subtle consciousness. Tantra, they talk about generating the subtle consciousness. With that subtle consciousness, you meditate emptiness. That is only the difference.
So then what you're saying is that the problem's the same, actually the solution is the same. What's the difference is the level of consciousness that's being applied with the solution.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So then when you hear words like Tantra is bringing the result into the palm, what does that mean in this context, bringing the result into the palm?
So what?
Bringing the result into the palm. Drebu lam kia.
Okay, well, how do you say that?
Bringing the result into the path. Bringing into the path, lam kia.
Okay, so this is the one again. The different the different meditation techniques. Yeah. What he's talking about that now we go in the Tantra and the Vajrayana. Yeah. It talks about that not only the meditate the deity, just visualize yourself as a deity, visualize yourself as a Manjushri Buddha. So in the Tantra, it's saying that when you visualize yourself as a Manjushri Buddha, also visualize the others as a Manjushri Buddha. Yeah. When you visualize all the sentient beings as a Manjushri Buddha, you cannot differentiate. It's all the same. To whom you will develop the anger, because you are visualizing everyone as a Manjushri Buddha. There is one very interesting story. There was one great master. He was to meditate himself as a Buddha, all the sentient beings as a Buddha. Yeah. So he always meditated. That's how he controlled all the negative emotions toward all the sentient beings. And the one morning, in the high mountain, one morning, ancient time, they used to drink the butter tea. So one morning, one dog stole his butter. Then he shouted and said, "See, the Buddha stole my butter." Now, for him, the dog is not an animal. The dog is a Buddha. And he shouted, "Now dog stole my butter."
Yes.
So see, this is the approach. So that is the one, the Vajrayanas, this is one type of the Vajrayanas, the meditation. Yeah. So that is called the Drebu lam kia.
Bringing the result into the path.
Yeah.
So Rinpoche, in Sutra approach, everything's about being very accurate about reality. Getting clearer and clearer on the way you think about the world so that it can help you be more accurate about your perceptions. Right? So Sutra seems to be all about getting more accurate mind, clearer mind. And then in Tantra, we have this you just described where, practices where we're seeing ourselves as a Buddha and everyone as a Buddha. And so someone might think that when you use your imagination like this, you're getting further away from reality. So for example, imagine you're a beggar on the street thinking that I'm a king. Yeah. This seems to be maybe delusional. So
but that's a very right point. In the Vajrayana, we should understand the very important point here. Because the Buddhas very much emphasize finding the reality and the truth. Like a Vajrayana practice, when you're visualizing that yourself as a Buddha and all the sentient beings as a Buddha, one big question comes, are you really a Buddha? All the sentient beings are real a Buddha or not? If it's not Buddha, you're visualizing that all the sentient beings are Buddha, that is a false conception. Yes, that is a false conception.
Yeah.
We have to agree that's a false conception. But we have, that false conception, a very helpful false conception. Let me tell you the one example. When the small kid, when many of the kids feel that their parent are the best parent. Is that the true or not? No. But still they believe it. That's very helpful for them. If the kids start to feel their neighbors' parents are better than their parents, their friends' parents are much better than their parents, it will be very harmful for their growth. So sometimes what we believe is not, that we have to know very clear, and we have to know that when we're visualizing yourself Buddhas, others are Buddhas, we should know that that is a false conception,
yes,
but a very helpful false conception.
Yes.
So that is an important thing. But when we are saying that all the sentient beings are the visualizing as a Buddha, that does not mean that all the sentient beings are the Buddha. No, all the sentient beings are not a Buddha.
So we understand that this is imagination, this is fabrication.
Yes, that's
but helpful.
Right. Yeah, helpful. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So, Rinpoche, you said that the difference between Sutra and Tantra is really that in Tantra you're using very subtle consciousness to realize emptiness, compared to Sutra. So how does this practice of seeing everyone as a Buddha, and ourselves as a Buddha, how does that help us? What's that relationship to the difference between Sutra and Tantra? How is this practice getting us to a subtle consciousness?
Sorry, that...
Yeah, so what we said is the difference between Sutra and Tantra is the level of consciousness, right? Yeah. And then we've given this example of this practice in Tantra, which is, imagining the result right now. Imagining I'm a Buddha right now, imagining everyone is a Buddha right now. And we know this is a false concept, but it's helpful. I guess my question is, how is it helpful? And specifically, how is it helpful in getting us to a more subtle level of consciousness?
Okay. Now here you have to understand the one thing, this thing. What is the problem? Normally people always have the problem. Yeah. What is the real problem? The real problem is your perception. Your problem is your perception. There is a very famous story. There is one stranger who came to see the master and told the master that can we meditate together? Master said, yes, we can meditate together. The stranger meditated in front of the master and asked the master, how do I look when I meditate in front of you? The master told the stranger, you look like a Buddha. Then the master asked the stranger, how do I look when I meditate in front of you? Yeah. Stranger told that master that I want to be very honest with you. You look like a garbage, pile of the garbage. The master smiled. That stranger went back and shared his experience with his wife. The wife laughed. He feel very proud and shared that when I meditate from the master, master told me I look like a Buddha. Then the wife laughed and told him, master see you as the Buddha because master mind is full of Buddha. You saw the master pile of the garbage because your mind is full of garbage. That's the perception.
Yes.
So that's why the problem is not a problem at all. Yeah. The perception toward the problem, that is the problem. So that's why the Vajrayana or the Tantra, that's saying the changes of the perception. When you see someone that very bad, you will generate the anger. That's a very nature, that is a very, the true nature of the human. So that's why to change that. So that's why he's saying the sentient being is a Buddha. But the one thing, and sometimes I used to tell, when you see that everyone is Buddha, morning you see the Buddha, in the shop you see the Buddha, restaurant you see the Buddha, you might feel bored, that's all. You will not generate the anger, but you might feel bored.
It's very interesting that, that part of the problem is the ordinary way we see ourselves, right? And that, you were saying that a lot of our problems comes down to our perceptions.
Yeah.
Right? And so this seems a very skillful way of changing the way we see the world.
Yeah.
Right? And so the ordinary way we see the world is very problematic.
Yeah.
But there's this, and in Sutra, we're not really trying to change, we're trying to understand that the way we see the world is wrong. Right? And mainly we're just staying with, hey, the way you're seeing this world as this thing inherently existent, or you inherently existent, this is wrong. And you're just trying to understand that that's wrong. That's the main thing. But in Vajrayana, it seems to be going this next step where not only is it wrong, but we're going to replace it. We're sort of, not only is it just the ordinary Daniel, but we're going to replace it with an extraordinary perception.
Yeah.
And so then I'm wondering why replacing a perception from ordinary to extraordinary is more helpful than just taking the ordinary perception and saying that's wrong.
When you ask this question, more helpful or not, that depends on the people.
Okay.
Some people is more helpful, some people are not helpful at all. It depends on the people. So that's why in the Sutra, Tantra, that's why, as I told you, we have lots of the different of the meditation techniques. So that's why some meditation technique might be very helpful to you, might be not that helpful to the other. Yeah. So that's why it depends. Whether it's helpful or not, it depends on the people. Okay.
Then I'm just going to ask again, why would a false construct be helpful? Why would this false, so the question is, it's false, meaning that I'm not extraordinary, but I'm going to imagine myself as extraordinary. How exactly is that helpful?
How exactly? Like a visualizing the self as the Buddha.
Say the Daknang,
Okay. Things like that. When you're visualizing the self as the Buddha, okay? Imagine the self as Buddha from the Vajrayana. It's saying that when you visualize, first you visualize as the Buddha. More, and when you visualize at that Buddha and when you meditate, and you will reach such a state that you will really see yourself as a Buddha.
Yeah.
Moment when you see as yourself a Buddha, and the moment when you see others as a Buddha, that moment that there's no way of developing any of the negative thoughts of the other. So you have to reach that state. That's what the Tantra saying that.
So if we fabricate this extraordinary vision of the world, it leaves no room for affliction.
Yeah.
And is this a temporary fix of the situation? How could this be permanent?
Permanent, or
Yeah, so it seems to rely. One of the questions I'm interested in is we started the conversation saying the difference between Sutra and Tantra is this subtle, powerful, subtle mind for realizing the nature of reality. And somehow we're going to use this fabricated perception to get there. What I'm really asking is what is the link between Kerim, Dzogchen, creation stage and completion stage? Because what we're talking here is creation stage, right?
Okay.
But
creation and I think we'll say the generation stage.
Generation stage.
And the completion stage.
And completion stage.
Okay, now it goes to very much of the very profound, okay? Because why I'm saying the profound is that, normally in the traditionally, and right now in the Guto Monastery, so the monks, the Geshe, who studied the Buddhism more than 20 years, they come to the Guto Monastery, the final year to study the completion stage and the generation. After studying 20 years in the Buddhist philosophy, 20 years after that, they will come study. Final year. Now today I will introduce in the 2 minutes. Okay.
Fast
2
track,
minutes.
fast track.
That is okay. That means I will say the enlightenment in the 2 minutes. Okay.
Thank you very much.
That I could not do that in the Europe. Okay, completion stage is, okay, now the generation stage is the very simple, that the generation stage is a very simple, that you just visualizing yourself, Buddhas and the others as a Buddha, okay? That is a very generation stage, okay? The completion stage is here, mainly the completion stage is that what you have to complete. That what you have to complete is a very simple, that the completion stage is that when you look at the normal people, ordinary peoples, that when they die, okay? When they die, they will, at that moment of when they're dying, they will develop the clear light consciousness. We call the clear light consciousness, or the clear light consciousness, or you can call it the very settled consciousness. Settle the consciousness. Now, in the completion stage, they will practice and they deactivate all the gross consciousness and they develop the very settled consciousness. With that settled consciousness, what happens is they will realize the emptiness. That is called the completion stage. Right now that we cannot develop the very settled consciousness. Why? because we cannot deactivate the gross consciousness.
Yes.
So that's why in the completion stage, that's why it talks about the dream, the dream yoga.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure that it's a very, the dream yoga, no? Yes. Dream yoga. Dream yoga in the stage that what it talks about, that the dream yoga is that when in the state of the dream, when you realize that when you're aware that you're dreaming, in that state you can practice Dharma, the practice in the state of the dream, Dharma practice. That's because in the state of the dream, your consciousness becomes subtle, not that much subtle. So when you can develop the very subtle consciousness, and that subtle consciousness, the meditating, the emptiness, that is called the completion stage.
Yes.
Now here comes the one big question, that how we can develop or generate the subtle consciousness.
Yes.
To generate the subtle consciousness, there is only one way to generate the subtle consciousness. In the Tantra or Vajrayana, it's saying that all we have the central channel. So we have to activate that central channel. To activate that central channel, when you can activate that central channel, then you can generate the subtle consciousness.
Yeah, so at the beginning when you were talking about this very subtle consciousness, and right now you mentioned this clear light consciousness, this is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So you're saying basically the difference between Sutra and Tantra is that you use, Rinpoche, we're going to fix your mic.
Okay.
We lost your mic down here.
Oh, sorry.
It's not that, it's on.
A little break in programming.
Sorry. Can you tap it? Yeah, it's on.
Maybe Rinpoche's robe was covering.
Okay, maybe.
Is
No
that better?
No better. Okay,
Is that-
sorry.
People can't hear online?
Yeah.
Okay, it's cutting out. Let's see how we go, but wave us again if it's still cutting out, because we want people to be able to hear Rinpoche. And this will be the recording as well. So Rinpoche, difference between Sutra and Tantra, right? This powerful clear light mind. How we get this powerful clear light mind? We activate the central channel.
Activate the central channel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. First thing is activate the central channel. I want to ask you, do you want to activate the central channel?
Why not?
Because it should be the very serious, okay?
Yeah.
But once you become the serious, then okay. Activating the central channel. So activating the central channel is that the first thing is that first we have to understand the structure of the channels, because that's why it's very important to the study. Because once you not study, there is no way to the practice very deeply. So that's why the importance of the study is very important. First, when you say the Tantra, Tantra is not like that reading the few books and you cannot be just practice it. Yes. So it should be you have to study. So that is the thing. So that's why it's to activate the central channel, all you have to study the chakras. Yeah. They're the 5 chakras. And you have to also study how the one chakra is connected with the other chakras. So these are you have to study, and then you can do that, yeah? Yeah,
so then activating the central channel through these chakras, this is how you achieve this powerful, subtle, clear light consciousness. This is what the Tantric practice uses to realize, the nature of reality so that we can antidote this problem of I and me. But what I want to draw the 2 dots between the imagination of me as an extraordinary being and the world being extraordinary. I want to connect the Khyar Rim practice, the creation stage practice, with the Dzogchen Rim practice. Because the Dzogchen Rim practice, the completion stage practice is where we talk about clear light, right? So what is the connection between the creation stage practice? What's this extraordinary perception? How is it helping me activate the central channel? Yeah.
Now you come to the generation stage. Generation stage, if you look at the generation stage of that is a Khyar Rim, no?
Yep.
Generation stage, there's 3 main practices in the generation stage. You look at every of the deities, the generation stage, it's called the Khyar Rim. There's a 3 main practice. It calls as the first, the transforming the death into the Dharmakaya. Yep. Then the transforming the intimate state in the Nirmanakaya, Sambodhakaya, then the birth as a Nirmanakaya. So these are the 3, it's a very important practice at the generating the stage. Now, Here in this 3 stage, the first you practice is that the 3 stages, when you're visualizing as the deity, when you visualize that, it is just like a foundation. Foundation. And the moment, now we go to clear light consciousness. When the moment of the clear light consciousness, when you're meditating the emptiness, not only the emptiness, that moment you are meditating the emptiness of the and the deity both.
Yeah.
That the clear light consciousness will not only meditate the emptiness, it will also meditate on the deity. So that is the very different. If you look from the sutra, when you are meditating on the emptiness, it will meditate only emptiness, not other than the emptiness. In the Tantra, when they are meditating the emptiness, not only the emptiness, also the deity or the Buddhas all together. That's the one other difference.
Okay, so this is very helpful, Rinpoche. So it's not only that we're just having this extraordinary view of the world, it's that along with this practice, we're doing these 3 special things, right? Taking the 3 bodies into the path, Kusulam Kyer, yeah? And so it's not like we're just imagining that we're these amazing beings and everyone's amazing. There's a specific practice that we're doing, and this practice is almost like like doing a play, a practicing for what we will do in completion stage, right? Because these 3 things also happen in completion stage. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe we can step through these 3 things. So taking the first one, taking the Dharmakaya.
And transforming the death into
death into
okay.
Dharmakaya.
Now the transforming the death into the Dharmakaya, okay, transforming the death into the very simple way of Dharmakaya is a little bit, the terms people might not understand, so I will tell the transforming the death into the enlightenment, okay?
Okay.
That is more simplified, okay, simplified. Sometimes the words play the big, the confusion, okay, create, okay. So now here the one thing is that when we are talking about the transforming the death into enlightenment, well, how we look into it, okay? How we look into the simple way, okay? How we look into it is that normally all the people are scared with the death. Everyone have the fear of the death. Yeah. How you deal with the death? Because everyone have a fear. And the fear is, what is the root of the old fear? That's a fear of the death, fear of the losing the self. That is the worst fear. So that's why let me tell you the one story, okay? So there is one person, his house is next to the cemetery, and he was so scared with the ghost. He could not sleep because of the scare of the ghost, fear of the ghost. Then he went to see the master and told the master that I could not sleep at the night because I'm so scared of the ghost and I have the fear of the ghost. So master told him that you don't have to get scared. Master gave him the one locket and told him that wear that locket. Ghosts will not harm you. But the very important thing is that you should not open the locket. Once you open the locket, it will lose the power. Then ghosts might harm you. First 2 nights he couldn't sleep very well. Then after that, his child was very curious and touching his locket. And he have to repeatedly tell his child that don't open the locket. If you open the locket, it will lose the power. So like that went, and after 2 weeks later, the person came to see the master and told the master that again, I could not sleep. Master told, why? You don't have to scare with the ghost. You have the locket, wear that locket and you sleep. Then he told, I could not sleep, not because I'm scared of the ghost. I cannot sleep because I'm scared of my own child. He might open the locket while I'm sleeping. Fear is that one fear transforms into another and another. But if you want to eliminate all the fear, we have to find the root of the fear. Yeah. That is a fear of the death. Yeah. So that's why how you look at the death. How you look at the death. It is an ant, or is there anything that we can change the death into something good thing? That's why here the Vajrayanas, the practicing, that transform the death into the enlightenment. Yeah. So sorry.
No, please.
Yeah. Continue. So transform the death into the enlightenment. So that means that you can liberate. You can achieve the enlightenment in the state of the death. In the state of the death. Use that, as I mentioned before, when the ordinary people die, they will develop the clear light consciousness. So that clear light consciousness, use that clear light consciousness consciousness. You that settle the consciousness to realize the emptiness and to liberate the self from the samsara, or liberate the self from the the samsara.
Yeah. So we're hitting an important word here that we started with, transforming. Yeah. So here we're transforming death into the Dharmakaya or enlightenment. It's interesting because we didn't want to separate transforming from antidote, right? So there's still, we're still, the Dharmakaya is the result. What's the antidote here? We're using this transformation practice, death into the Dharmakaya. How does what's the pangwa? We're still antidoting, right?
Antidote, sorry.
We're still like, we're still antidoting self-grasping, right? At this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, things like that, okay? Antidote is, again, we'll come back to this point. When you are saying the antidote, we have to understand the antidote very clearly, how the antidote, the function. When you're saying that, like an example, like anger, when you just, antidote is something like that, what is the function of the antidote? Antidote, the function of the antidote is eliminating it. So as I mentioned before, that when you look at the anger, when you're just observing the anger and when you're looking at the anger, that is not an antidote. Because it will not destroy the anger at all. Whether you look or observe the anger or not, anger is impermanent, it's a momentary, it will disappear after a few minutes later. If the observing the anger can destroy the anger, then when you develop the compassion, observe the compassion. Will that observing the compassion can destroy the compassion? No.
No.
Logic is the same. Here we have to look very scientific point of view, very logical point of view. So that means it shows very clear that the observing any of the emotion cannot destroy that emotion. If it's that, then observing the fire will extinguish the fire. The logic is the same. So that's why the antidote means, what is antidote function? To eliminate it. To eliminate that, you have to find the root cause. So that's why the Buddha, if you look at the Four Noble Truths, first Buddha talked about the suffering. Then he talked about the cause of the suffering. Why? You have to find the antidote for the cause of the suffering, not the suffering. When you want to, I always tell the people that when you have the problem, normal people, they always find the solution for the problem. That's the biggest mistake we are doing. When you have the problem, don't find the solution for the problem. Always look the solution for the cause of the problem.
Yes.
That's how it works. So that's why when you look the antidote, not for the antidote for the anger, antidote for the cause of the anger. That is the cause of the anger, is the self-grasping. Self-grasping, or you can call the self-cherishing, or self-centered, or ego, or whatever you call it. For that antidote is a selflessness. So that's why the Tejir Theta Thongvichul. Tejir Theta, oh sorry, I'm speaking in the Tibetan term, sorry. In the Nagarjuna said that there's a word Tejir Theta Thongvichul. Thongvichul means that you can liberate by the seeing the, the emptiness. Tejir Theta Thongvichul.
And this is actually related to bringing death into the path of the Dharmakaya, right?
Sorry?
This is related. This is very related.
That's right. So Dharmakaya is transforming the Dharmakaya. Is when the clear light consciousness, when he sees the emptiness, when you realize the selflessness. That is when you realize the selflessness, then you will know there is no inherently existed self. Moment when you realize that there is no inherently existed, then there is no way of generating the self-grasping, that's attitude.
So when we're transforming, we're also destroying the cause of the problem. So when we transform death, bring that into the path of the Dharmakaya, it's similar to getting insight into emptiness, for example. So it's this insight, and then that insight is what will destroy the self-grasping, right? So the transforming and the destroying come together in Tantra.
Wow, now you got to the point. Because always I have to look, the very important, whether you Tantra or Sutra, Buddhism is like a very science. Everything we have to base on the logical and very proper system, not like something comes out with the ideas. So it should be the very well, we have to calculate it based on the logical reason. So that is the most important thing. Yeah.
Okay, so then, so also Rinpoche has a family lineage of Dzogchen as well. So he's a master of Sutra, a master of Tantra, and also has the family lineage of Dzogchen. So this is why I'm asking this next question, right? So we've connected this antidoting, destroying, with transformation, right? Now, is it true that even in Dzogchen, what you're going after is to be destroying a cause? Like we've said that what you want to do is when you identify a problem, find the cause of the problem, destroy that cause, right? And so we've seen that we do that in Sutra. We do that in Tantra through transformation. Are we also doing that in Dzogchen?
Yes, I would say very.
Cool.
How we are saying the Dzogchen is saying that when we are saying the Dzogchen, we have to look at the original, the Dzogchen masters, whether we have to look the Gyalong Chenpa. He was really the one of the greatest Dzogchen master. He was not only the practitioner, he was only the writer, philosopher, debater. Very interesting thing is that Gyalong Chenpa and the Lama Tsongkhapa came in the same era.
Yes, yes.
I used to tell both of them graduated from the same college. Sangbu, they changed. Yes, Sangbu, both of them went through that.
Yeah.
Both of them are same. If you look long Sangbu, Sangbu. So Gyalong Chenpa, he was also a great philosopher. Lama Tsongkhapa is a great philosopher. Both of them are great debater. Both of them are great practitioner. So we have to look the Dzogchen, look at the Lama Gyalong Chenpas, what we are saying. That is the most important. Not just someone's that who they might be a lot of practitioner cannot be go with what the practitioner says, that what the great master like Longchenpa says. Now the Longchenpa, the text he have what he's the idea of the Ju Mepam have clearly comes with the whole he explained the Longchenpa's the view. And these Longchenpa views and what the Lama Tsongkhapa says, also that Lama Tsongkhapa says, and what the Longchenpas and the Dzogchen, what they're saying, the point is exactly the same. The term might be used a very different way. Yeah. So that's why the Longchenpas and the Lama Tsongkhapas, all the view is the same, that when you have to eliminate or the antidote for the negative affliction, most important thing is that the two things are important. First thing is the analytical meditation, very important. Right now, what's happening in the Western world is meditation seems only the single point meditation, not a single point meditation. Analytical meditation is very important. Ju Mepam said the one thing. Sorry, then I'm speaking again. Ju Mepam is what he's saying that if you have not meditated using the 100 of the logical reason, you will not understand the emptiness. Yeah. That is exactly the Lama Tsongkhapa is saying. That is exactly Ju Mepam is saying. That is exactly the Longchenpa is saying. That is the Longchenpas and the Lama Tsongkhapas, all they are saying the meditation most important, the analytical meditation.
Really?
That's why the last time I was in the South Korea, I was talking about the Zen meditation. Even the Zen, what they do, they get the point. They will ask a few questions. Yeah. Who am I before I was born?
Yes.
This question, then you have to do the analysis. Who am I before I was born? This is all the analytical meditation. Even in the Zen, but they call the questions. Analysis comes after the question. Very simple way. How the Newton found the gravity.
Oh, Rinpoche, we have to fix your mic again.
Okay.
Back.
Okay, so sorry. Yeah,
maybe we keep it out. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Now how
Thank you,
okay.
Rinpoche.
So that's why I always tell that how that found the gravitation.
Oh, no,
law.
it's okay. Sorry.
Hello. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me well?
Rinpoche, if you're facing me, I think it'll work.
Okay. Now?
Yeah, now that's working.
Okay. Now that's why I'm saying that how the Isaac Newton found the gravitation law. Because of the question, why the apple falling on my head? If you don't ask this question, I don't think he will find the gravitation, the law. Same thing is that in the analytical meditation, start with the questions. So that's why the question and do the analysis, that is the important, the meditation number one. So when you are saying that the Dzogchen is also the practice, when you look at the practice of the Dzogchen, how the great master, the Ju Mepam, he paid too much importance for the analytical meditation. That's a very, so as I give you a quotation from his text called the Neshidome, he said that that's why without the meditative, you meditate without any reasons and the logic, you cannot realize the emptiness. Lama Tsongkhapa in the Lam Rim Chemo, the great stages of path, end of the Lam Rim Chemo, he mentioned to realize the emptiness, only one way, analytical meditation.
Yeah. So Mirpam, this text, what are you saying, Neshidrome?
Neshidrome is the text.
Definitive lamp.
Yeah.
This is a text on what from Mirpam?
Sorry?
What is this text on? What's the topic of
Actually,
this text?
this text is he asked I think the separate questions. Then he answered all the questions.
Oh, so he's asking the questions and he's answering.
Yeah, he asked the question, then he answered for the
like your
questions.
Zen friends.
Sorry?
Like your Zen friends.
Yeah, that's like a Zen, how they do, they have coins and they ask a question. Yeah.
So even for Mirpam and therefore Longchenpa, this Chegom, this analytical meditation is
Very
crucial
important.
for understanding. So what is the relationship, Rinpoche? You hear in Dzogchen all this pointing out, ngotro, yeah? And so this direct, not through inference, not through not jepakisama, not inferential knowledge, it's straight away direct. So if you hear all these words, is this not correct understanding or you need analytical meditation before that? How does this work?
That's why in the Jumepam very clearly said, very clearly, even among the thousands, maybe one person might be without doing that, maybe can possible for the one among the thousands. But the 99% you have to go through the analytical meditation.
Okay.
It is a very rare cases, it's a kind of mysterious cases. One might be out of the 100 comes up. But if you look from the very scientific point of the view, what we have to do, what happened to the 99%, that is the truth.
Yes.
So that's why he clearly said that, Mirpam clearly said that, yeah.
Yeah. So you see
So that's why he said the very importance of the analytical meditation, japa, and all those are very important.
Yeah.
He say that, yeah.
And so this analytical meditation, and still what you're doing, even in Dzogchen, is you're identifying the problem, then you're identifying the cause of the problem, and then and even the Dzogchen practices are to eliminate the causes of suffering, which is the same in all systems.
All systems same, because it's not about the Dzogchen or the Lam Rim, it's a reality and the fact.
Yeah.
We have to look into what is the reality fact. Even the Tantra, Sutra says it should not fit in the reality, then it is a fiction.
Yeah.
We have to look at what fits in the reality.
Yeah. So all these Buddhist systems are trying to do the same thing. Right?
Same thing, that all the Buddhist systems are trying to do the same thing. How they express might be a little bit different.
And then the difference between Sutra and Tantra is this powerful clear light mind. In Tantra, you're so you're always trying to realize emptiness.
Yeah.
In Tantra, you're using a more powerful mind.
Yeah, and the clear light mind is a source. If you look at the Buddha, the Pankyaparamita Sutra, then with that exactly same thing, the great master, the Dhammakirti Sene, Semyaranshi Versava, Timanamni, Lobuwa.
Yeah. So
These are the quotes we have to look at the Buddha Sutra. Then we have to look at the ancient, the great Nalanda scholar text.
Yeah.
Then we will come to the great masters in the Tibet, great masters wood. That is how we have to look. Yeah.
So you're saying the nature of mind is luminosity.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Wherever you go, Sutra and the Tantra, wherever you go, it is the same.
So Tantra, the main difference is that you're using this very powerful mind. What is the advantage of Dzogchen?
Sorry?
In Dzogchen, what is the difference? Like, if Sutra and Tantra, you're using this clear light luminosity mind. What is the advantage of Dzogchen? What is the difference on Dzogchen?
Okay. Now the Dzogchen and the generally, as I told, generally when you're saying the Dzogchens and the Lam Tsongkhapa's view, say so there is no difference. I always say that because I have a lot of the source and to prove that.
Yes.
Why? The first thing is the Dzogchen's idea mainly, it should be based on the Gyalpo Longchenpa's what he says that. Gyalpo Longchenpa, what he says that, and then it comes through the Gyalpo Longchenpa, then you look at the Gyalpo Longchenpa's idea, who understand the best of the Gyalpo Longchenpa's idea?
Yeah.
Jumepam. So you will get very surprised that Jumepam wrote the one commentary of the Changya's Tawa Ame Gurma. Tawa Ame Gurma means, I don't know how to translate.
What is it?
Tawa Ame Gurma.
The view of what?
Ama means a mom, no?
Mom, yeah.
Yeah, mom's commentary of the mom's view.
Yeah.
So that in the commentary, Changya was the Lama Tsongkhapa follower of the master. So he said the Chankhya view is very right. He combined the Chankhya view with the Lama Tsongkhapa view and the Longchenpa views all
Oh,
together.
yes, I know the text you're talking about. Yeah.
So that is a thing that, when you're saying the Dzogchen, first we have to go through the text. That we have to go to the Longchenpa's text.
Yeah.
Now the Longchenpa text, what is mentioned is who right the Jumepams, how he explained it. We have to look through that, the Dzogchen. So even if you look at now when you come back to what the special Dzogchen. So Dzogchen, now another thing is that if you look at the Dzogchen, the highest practice is called the Tökel and the texture. I don't know how to translate that in English. Tökel and the texture. Tökel and the texture is that is the highest practice, but the highest practice is exactly the same that how we can meditate on Tökel and the texture. So when you look at that practice and Jime Lingpa wrote the text. It's a book called the Tri Lama. I don't know how to say that, translate that in English. Okay, Tri Lama. It's a commentary of the
Longchen Yinti.
No. Tri Lama. Ishe means a
Lama. Know in English.
Yeah.
We know
Okay. So that is Tri Lama. When he wrote in that when he mentioning about the practices, term he might be used a little bit different, and even when you look at that looking into the origin of the mind, how it comes, look into the not only this is the first step. Later on, that you have to look into the nature of the mind as not as inherently existed. Yeah. That's how we have to look at it. That how we have to look at it. Again, the Jumepam have mentioned that. So that's why when you're saying that these all the great masters, the explaining way might be different, and it comes to the one point. But the Dzogchen is a great master, Longchenpa, and the Lam Rim's the writer, great master, Lama Tsongkhapa, but they come to the one point. This is the base on my study and my research. Okay, other tradition great master, I have read few books. I didn't read the deep research. This is my research, and I'll find it out. The final conclusion, I can say that same. It comes to the same point. All this the source. These sources, what I mentioned in that, all the sources. Another thing is that when you look at the explaining that even whatever the meditation techniques, if you look at like the Dzogchen point or the Lama Tsongkhapa point or whatever they mention it, so most important thing is that when we say that Lama Tsongkhapa's meditation, we have to find the source from his book. When we're saying the Dzogchen meditation, we have to find the source from the very authentic text of the Dzogchen. Then only we can say that as a Dzogchen practice, that's a Lama Tsongkhapa practice. We need a source. That is how we can identify and give the label of the Dzogchen practice or the Lama Tsongkhapa practice. Because this is why I'm saying is that the quite important thing is that right now sometimes you read the book, you come with your own idea, then you will give the then you will give the label, oh, this is Lama Tsongkhapa's practice, this is the Dzogchen practice. That is not the right way. You need a very proper source.
You need to go back to the original source.
Original source, that you have the source.
Yeah, this is amazing, Rinpoche. One thing I've noticed about, you go to teachings, you go to get initiation from some Tantra, and you always hear, this is the most greatest, this is the most highest. Then you go get to another initiation, and they say, this is the greatest, this is the highest. It seems like everything is claiming to be the greatest and the highest.
Yeah, same thing. One day, so one very long time back, one lady asked me the question that about the Kala Chakra.
Yes.
So she asked that, she told me that she heard that if you receive the Kala Chakra initiation 3 times, you was not born in a hell. Is that true? I said no. Then she asked why the people are saying that. So I told that is a Kala Chakra marketing.
Yeah, exactly. Good marketing. Good marketing.
That is the one marketing is going on, and now say that this meditation is better than other, this is the better than other. It is not the better than other at all. It depends on the people. So
better for who?
Yeah, better for who? Yeah.
Incredible, Rinpoche. I think we're going to have a 5-minute break now,
Okay,
and then we're going to come back and get questions from the audience. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
So welcome back, everyone. We're going into the question and answer phase. Thank you for all your questions. I have them here. We're going to start with an audience question right here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. My question is about clear nature of mind. Is it something that is a very subtle, conventional nature of mind that is realized right after realizing ultimate nature of mind, or something that is sort of realized kind of simultaneously with ultimate nature of mind?
Okay, about a clear light consciousness, am I right? Clear light consciousness generally explained as the very subtle. Clear light consciousness, you can only generate the clear light consciousness when you can deactivate this gross consciousness. Then only it is possible to develop the clear light consciousness. Yeah.
Okay. So then, Rinpoche, we have a question from the online audience. Rinpoche stated that during creation stage practice, generation stage, sorry, we're imagining everyone as the Buddha, right? But this seems to be opposite from what Mingyur Rinpoche said on Monday, just a couple of nights ago. He actually said we are already a Buddha, yeah? And these two statements, that we have to imagine to be a Buddha or we're already a Buddha, they seems to be in conflict. And so during the generation stage practice, is it that we are imagining, consciously constructing this outlook, or are we in touch with something that's already there?
Okay, now here is a question with whether we already a Buddha or not, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. If we are already Buddha, in this point we have the different way of the looking this point, okay? This one. So first we have to find it out what the definition of the Buddha. Then only we can tell we are the Buddha or not. We find the definition of the Buddha. If the definition of the Buddha is the person who cannot generate the anger, who cannot generate any negative emotion, then look into yourself. Do you generate the anger or not? That the definition of the Buddha is just a Buddha, just like a definition, just like a simple human being. Then everyone is a Buddha. Now that we have to find the definition of the Buddha. What is the definition of the Buddha? That you have to look into the originally the Buddha's, Buddha's Sutra and the text. And the Sutra and the text, it say they are the 8 qualities of the Buddha. It mentioned the 8 qualities of Buddha. So it says that that I will explain that in the English. It says that the Buddha have the 8 qualities. It says that. Who say that? It's a great Nalandas, the scholar in the text, they talks about the Buddha's, the 8 qualities. Then you have to look into yourself, whether you have these all qualities or not. If you don't have it, then you have no qualities of the Buddha. That's why we have to find it out, what is the definition of the Buddha. If the definition of the Buddha is just simple the human being, then we are all the Buddha. If the definition of the Buddha is it's enlightened, look into yourself, whether you are enlightened or not. If you are the enlightened, then good, you are Buddha. If you are not enlightened, you are not Buddha. Buddha, the term itself, that's a Sanskrit term. What does the Buddha means? Buddha means actually, the Buddha means enlightened, awakened. You should be awake from the ignorance. That means that if you are not awakened, if you are still sleeping, then you are not Buddha. So Buddha definition and the term, you have to look at it. So then you will know you are the Buddha or not, that you can look at. First look the definition and the meaning of the Buddha, then you will know yourself you are Buddha or not.
So Buddha is something you create. You have to bring the causes to be a Buddha, is what you're saying, yeah?
Sorry?
A Buddha is something that requires the causes to be in place.
Yeah, so that is, a Buddha needs qualities. That is mentioned in the great Maitreya. He have said that. Maitreya, he said that the Buddhas, they have the 8 qualities. They need the 8 qualities. 8 qualities of the Buddha, that means the main important among the 8 qualities is that you need a great compassion, great wisdom. If you are not a great wisdom and if you don't have the great compassion, you don't have the qualities of the Buddha. Once you're not having the qualities of Buddha, then I don't think you can tell the Buddha. It is real. Paper tiger is not a tiger. Paper tiger is not a tiger because it don't have any quality of the tiger. You can be paper Buddha.
Yeah. Thank you, Rinpoche. We have another audience question.
Thank you very much, Rinpoche. Is a question connected to that one? You mentioned kind of as a joke that if you get to a point where you can truly like have the perception of yourself and other as Buddha, there might be a sense of boredom. You might find it boring.
Everyone's a Buddha.
So the question is kind of like, it seems that in current times, we have a very strong aversion towards boredom. We get bored, we get afraid of being bored, we look for distraction, we're afraid of the experience of being bored. Could you talk a little bit of like what boredom is, what is not boredom? And then as a follow-up, if you could, like this type of ordinary boredom, how is that ordinary boredom different than this boredom that one might experience after having this clear perception?
You're talking bore, isn't it?
Boredom.
Boredom, no?
Yeah, like sort of like lelo, you're lazy and bored.
Like boredom. Boredom. Okay. So you're talking about. So you're asking the boredom about.
Like we ordinary beings, we have ordinary boredom.
Yeah.
But you describe that if someone has the perception of oneself and others as Buddha, they might have experienced it.
Boredom. I say. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But the one thing you should know, whether when you see as the all as the Buddha, whether you feel the boredom or not, only you will know when you can see everyone as a Buddha. What I feel right now, if you see that everyone is a Buddha, then you will feel the bore. Why I'm saying is that, why I'm saying that the look into the yourself, when you see the Buddha in the restaurant, Buddha in your home, every the Buddha, you will not feel the very exciting. When you have the different, my way of the practice, I see the lot of see the different personality, different things. So that's why I enjoy. So that's why I always tell that people that I really enjoy in the samsara. I enjoy in the samsara because that is the truth. Because when you are not enjoying, when you are not happy, that person or master who is not happy, how can he teach the student to be happy? One unhappy person makes the other unhappy. One master who says that he is very unhappy, that means that he cannot make the other happy at all. That's why I enjoy the samsara. I tell that I enjoy the samsara, not only that I enjoy the samsara, because of I understand the nature of the samsara, so that's why I enjoy it. So that's why it's a very nice story. At the time of the Buddha, one mother lost the son. And he cried, and he became like an incense, and they came to listen to the teaching from the Buddha. After he overcome that, later on that, she gave the several of the children the birth. But accidentally, she lost all the children. That time, she didn't get insane. She didn't get the depressed. Everyone got so surprised and asked her, how come first when you lost the one child, you become the insane? Now you lost the several of the children. Why you didn't become the insane and why you didn't got depressed? Before, when I lost the one child, I didn't know the reality, truth of the samsara. After I listened to the teaching from Buddha, now I learned the truth, reality of the samsara. That's why I don't become the insane, losing the oldest. Same thing that when I practice in Dharma, understanding the reality nature of the samsara, then you don't have anything feel the sad. That's if you feel. That's why I say I enjoy in the samsara. That's what I want the people. No matter that whether you practice or not practice, you have to live in this world. The best way of living in this world, live happily. To live happily, it's a very important to understand the reality and the nature of the samsara. It's very important, yeah.
Which part of this question I think is really insightful. He said that these days we're very fearful of being bored. People can't handle not having stimulation. They've always got to be doing something. There's like a fear of boredom. So in some ways, is being able to handle boredom a good thing?
Okay, now we'll look at the boredom. Yeah. Very simple question. Why you are feeling the bored? You are doing the same thing again and again. Same thing. In this samsara, we're born as 1,000 times. We are doing the exactly same thing again and again and again and again. Again, that's the one thing we are doing it. So that's why the boredom, to Now here comes a question that why we getting the bored and how we to overcome the boredom. Simple way of the overcoming the boredom, very simple way, okay? Very simple way to overcome the boredom is that do little bit of the meditation. What kind of the meditation? I always say the impermanent meditation. Impermanent. Look at the things, how it arise, how it disappear. It is like so that's why there is a very nice saying that look at the things, how it appear, how it disappear. When you look at all these things, how appear and how disappear, so it is the one of the great show. The nature is one of the great show. We just have to just watch that show.
The show of impermanence.
Yeah.
Yeah, there seems to be an important thing of like not having the addiction to stimulus and being able to be steady and without being bored. There's some middle way here. Yeah. Okay, Rinpoche, there's a question about Mipam. Drew Mipam famously criticized Lama Tsongkhapa, saying, pot is empty of true existence, but not empty of pot. So how do you, what do you think of this critique from Mipam?
First thing is that a big misunderstanding. Mipam never criticized the Lama Tsongkhapa.
He didn't use the name, or he didn't?
He didn't criticize Lama Tsongkhapa. I can say the original, the Mipam's the word. Mipam said that Lama Tsongkhapa, I will use the Tibetan term, okay, what he told us that. Meche beteba, memam meche beteba chele the memam bashingale use age sombre. Mipam said that he have the very strong faith and devotion toward the Lama Tsongkhapa. Exactly same as the follower of the Lama Tsongkhapa. If you look at a Mipam book, because right now the Mipam book, you have to go through all this written in the Tibetan, several of the books all in the Tibetan. He said the number one. Number two is that he said that Mipam, when he was debating with one of the great master that called the Parirapse, he is the follower of the Lama Tsongkhapa. Parirapse said the one thing to the Mipam.
Yeah.
Kekyo lansu nyugu pevanang gente tembe gwenje sinjona gente tembe genji kormacha. Parirapse said the Mipam that if you come at the time of the Lama Tsongkhapa, you will become the one of the best disciples of the Lama Tsongkhapa. Because Mipam already praised the Lama Tsongkhapa. He said the praise that he have no criticize. But debate is there. The reason debate is that Mipam is trying to say the follower of the Lama Tsongkhapa, you are not understanding the Lama Tsongkhapa view properly.
Okay.
That's his main point, Mipam point.
So he's criticizing Lama Tsongkhapa's followers.
Sorry? He said that the Lama Tsongkhapa follower was not understanding the Lama Tsongkhapa view very precisely. That's his point of the debate. Mipam's point of the debate is that. So that's why as I say that the Chankya was a great follower of the Lama Tsongkhapa. He wrote the commentary of the Chankya text and said the Chankya's text. Yeah.
Because Chankya Rinpoche Dorje said something similar, that Lama Tsongkhapa's followers better be careful, right? Because there's a fine line between negating too much and not negating enough, right? And so like we can push on this question a little bit from what Mipam is saying, yeah? And so basically, you know, the critique here of Lama Tsongkhapa's followers, not Lama Tsongkhapa, is that they are the cup, right? They are negating the inherent existence of the cup. So the cup does not exist inherently, but they don't negate the cup. So in fact, these followers are Shen Tongpas, not Rang Tongpas. They are producing an other emptiness, not a self-emptiness. This is sort of like the critique. You understand that, Rinpoche? And so then for these early masters, it seems as that the cup itself is the product of delusion. And so if your wisdom is not antidoting the cup, it's not antidoting the product of delusion. You understand this? So how do you respond to that?
First things comes like a cup exists or not exists. That's a one big question, sister. Let me tell you the one story. There is one great master went to the temple, wants to give the teaching for the king. He said that everything is not existed. Everything what you see exists is delusional. Whether you say it exists from itself or whatever, it doesn't matter. Everything is not existed. Everything is your delusion, no? Comes under everything. He said that nothing exists. You got it? That is the final emptiness.
Yeah.
So then the king told, do I exist? Master said, no, you don't exist. Then king asked, Master, do you exist? Master said, no, everything is non-existent. That's the real nature, that is the emptiness. Then the king asked his general, take this master at the execution ground, kill him. At ancient time, when they execute the people, what they do is that they dig the hole, they put the person, the criminals under the ground, they bring the elephant, and the elephant have to crush the head of that criminal. So they keep the master, put under the ground, only that he let the cats comes out of the ground. Then the army general went to get the elephant.
Yeah.
When he was bringing the elephant near to the master, then king approached to the master and asked the one question, one very simple question, do elephant exist?
Yeah.
Master shouted and said, yes, elephant exists, I exist. It is very easy to say, nothing is exist.
Yeah.
If it's nothing to exist, and any master say nothing to exist, then that master, you should not do any offering. Don't give any offerings. That master, no give offering, no food needed, because it does not exist. Why he have to eat the food?
Yeah.
Why he have to drink the water, which is not existed?
Yeah.
This is just theoretically very much interesting looks. But in the reality, they think very differently.
Yeah.
So that is the thing, okay? So nothing exists, maybe you should ask that, do elephant exist or not?
Yeah. The master had a crisis of faith.
Yeah.
But,
So that's why the Lama Tsongkhapa comes to the point, things exist, not inherently exist. Yeah.
Yes, but Lama Tsongkhapa's things exist is very thin. Tokpe taksam. It exists as merely labeled by mind.
Yeah.
This is a very thin type of existence.
Yeah, label of the mind, here you have to know label of the mind is again the very complicated point.
Yes.
Because when you are saying that everything is labeled by the mind, but look at the snake is also labeled by the mind.
Yes.
When you look at the rope, and when you think the rope is the snake, when you give the label, the rope is labeled as a snake, the rope will not become the snake at all. That's why Lama Tsongkhapa had the three qualities to label the snake.
Yeah.
It should function, snake function, it should have the snake function. Not only by labeling, it will come snake.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the one story, okay? Labeling, about the label. There is one zoo, and the zoo is running out of the budget. So what happened is that they have the two tiger in that zoo. One senior tiger, one is a junior tiger.
Yeah.
So that they feed the meat to the senior tiger, they feed the fruits, bananas to the junior tiger.
Yeah.
It went for the few days, but the junior tiger was so exhausted with having the banana all the time. Then he asked the senior tiger, I really understand the seniority, I understand it. But even I'm a junior, but I'm a tiger. I cannot eat the banana all day. So why they are giving me the banana and you are meat? So the senior tiger told, zoo is running out of the budget. And the zoo owner is a philosopher. He philosopher and he solved this problem. He labeled you as a monkey. And treat you as a monkey.
Yes.
But this is when you say the label by the mind. But
doesn't
still,
function.
even you label the junior tiger as a monkey, it will not become a monkey. It should have the function of the monkey.
Yeah.
That's what the Lama Tsongkhapa mentioned it. Yeah.
But then, Rinpoche, you could say that, say I'm walking along a road, right? I see a snake. I'm scared. Then I see a rope. It's not a snake.
Yeah.
Didn't the snake function to give me fear?
No, that is not a snake function.
Yeah.
That is the false conception.
Yeah.
Snake cannot function. Snake don't have the rope don't have any snake function.
Yeah. But it's really only the conception of the rope that undermines the conception of the snake, right? Because if I ask you, the snake exists just as a product of my mind, right? The rope exists as merely labeled by mind. And so on the level of reality, they're both merely labeled by mind, correct? Now, what's the distinction? You're going to say that one functions, one doesn't, right?
Look, okay, very simple way. When you are dreaming, tiger, in the state of dream, when you dream the rabbit in your dream, you are dreaming. Both are not exist. But it's a different, when you dream, the tiger in the dream and the rabbit in the dream, is there any difference?
The tiger in the dream and the rabbit in the dream, is there any difference? Well, they're both dream creatures, but they're different types of creatures.
But still it's a difference.
Different types of creatures, yeah.
It's exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Exactly, it's the same.
Yeah.
Rope and the snake.
Yeah.
Both are the labels of the mind.
Yeah.
Both are not inherently existed, but still it carry the different
But
functions.
the distinction is category of real and unreal, right? And what puts you in a category of real versus a category of unreal? And the argument you're making is that it functions, right?
Yeah, that's
But
right,
really,
yeah.
the only reason you know it functions is because it's undermined by another concept, another sema. Right?
Yeah.
So it all comes down to sema, like what's the latest conventional.
Yeah.
It's very a thin level of reality.
Yeah.
Anyway, I should get back to the questions from the audience. But that was a good question. Do we have any more questions here? Sewang. And thank you, Rinpoche.
Just curious, in Buddhism, when they say that the basic nature of the mind is like aware or something positive, whereas in the West, there's a lot of view that the basic nature of the mind is like self-centered. From a Buddhist standpoint, what kind of reason and logic is given explaining that the basic nature of a mind is positive?
Sorry, last
The reason and the logic given explaining why in Buddhism the basic nature of a mind is more positive, like.
I see. Basic nature of the mind is why positive.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's the reason?
Okay. Now that I want to make sure I understand your question very rightly. What is the reasons the reasons or the reasons that why the mind's nature is positive? Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Things that positive. Okay. Because why the basic nature of the mind nature is the positive is that if you look at the newly child born, first thing is that they develop the trust toward the mother. They develop the love toward the mother. That is the first thing that what the child developed. So that is the very positive thing. So that two things we have to carry in our life, trust and the love. These two things are very important things that we develop the first day when we are born. So that's why they say that the nature of the nature of the mind is a very positive. Later they develop with the angers, all the negative thoughts comes later. I saw my niece very closely since when she born and up till now she is 8 years old, going to be the 8 soon. Yeah, 8 years old. What I saw is very much the first thing is that slowly she age of 3, 4, then she started to develop the anger. Yeah, slowly then that she started to develop the anger. It comes much later. Before that, she was when she was maybe 7, 8 months, always the hug with my mother, and my grandma was the grandma hug, and really the loves and the trust, so much. Yeah. So angers, all those negative thoughts. Then the age of 5, 6, then slowly she started to develop the frustration and the stress. Then that is slowly it developed. So that's why the basic of the mind nature is very positive. So that's why the Buddhism, what we are saying, that when the love is the very nature of the love is our nature. So in the Buddhism, encourage that not only love toward the self, not toward only your family, develop the love toward the whole the sentient beings. That the way in Buddhism that encourages. Yeah.
Do we have any other questions from the audience here?
Talk about Buddha nature in conjunction with, we were talking about the clear light and the luminous quality. Can you just tell us a little bit how those two interact with all that we've been talking about?
Talk about what?
Buddha nature.
Buddha nature, okay. Simply the Buddha nature is that in the Buddhism we say that everyone have the potential to become the Buddha. That is the Buddha nature, very simple way. Everyone have the potential to become the Buddha. What does that mean is that that gives you the very strong the confidence. Whenever you look at a problem, always you have to remember yourself that I can overcome this problem because I can achieve the Buddhahood. I can achieve the Buddhahood. That means that I have such a potential. So that is what the Buddha nature. Buddha nature, that is the one thing that everyone have the potential to become the Buddha. That is called the Buddha nature. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Which is a sort of related question from the audience, online audience. Is the ultimate nature of mind luminosity or emptiness?
Okay, where is ultimate nature of the ultimate nature of the mind is the emptiness. Because the emptiness, if you look at all the existent, whatever all the existent, the ultimate nature is the emptiness. Because ultimate nature is emptiness is a very simple way when you look at the emptiness. Emptiness, actually these terms come from, the Sanskrit term shunyata.
Yeah.
Shunya means a what? Not only the empty, it means a zero.
Yes.
Everything starts from the zero.
Yes.
That is everything comes from the zero. Everything starts from the zero. So everything starts from the zero, so that's why, what does that mean? That is the ultimate nature should be the empty. So that was the ultimate nature. No, ultimate nature, that is over the existence and all the phenomena, the ultimate nature is emptiness.
I thought Mipam Rinpoche said that the ultimate nature is the union of emptiness and luminosity. Did Mipam say that, or do I misunderstand Mipam?
That is the one, the ultimate nature. He talked about the very practitioner viewpoint of view. If the practitioner viewpoint of view, that can be explained that way.
Okay.
Now, when we're talking of the ultimate genuine, the reality point of view,
Yes.
practitioner point of view, reality point of view, that will be very different.
Yes.
If you look from some poetry point of view, poetry, they compare someone's face as a moon. They will say that your face looks like a moon. In the reality, no one's face looks like a moon. No one have such a round face.
Yes.
In the poetry point of view, yeah, it is correct. So that's why the Mipam one is explaining is from the practitioner's point of view. So when I'm saying the ultimate nature is empty, that is a realistic point of view. If you look at the very reality point of view, even if you look like a flower,
Yeah.
and if you're trying to point it out, what is the flower? If you spread the leaves and all the atoms or sub-atoms, if you go and spreading them, separating them,
Yeah.
and finally what you will find the empty, that's all.
Yeah.
That's why they're saying that emptiness is their final nature. Yeah.
And then the practitioner view, what do you mean?
Practitioner view is that the nature, how we look at that. Sungju means a practitioner, they have to look at all the things with the union. Yeah. Sungju, that is how they have to do the final, the practice, it should come with that.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Thank you. More? Yes. Yeah. Very good.
Thank you, Rinpoche. In such a distracted world where we're filled with distractions and it's very hard to focus on things, is achieving like the 9 stages of shamatha still relevant and important before moving on to more complex practices?
Distraction, isn't it? Your question is?
On distraction and the importance of achieving the 9 stages of shamatha before moving on to other more complex practices.
Negu. Negu. The 9 stages.
9 stages. Okay. First thing is here the very important things, okay? When you are saying the distraction, right now they talk a lot about meditation. When you are meditating, I'm sure that if you meditate for the 5 minutes, you will get distracted. But they will not teach you how to overcome the distraction. That's the problem. They just introduce you, tell you to meditate. You meditate, then you will get distracted. They will not teach you how to overcome the distraction. Number 1. Number 2, distraction, there are the many different levels of the distraction. Now the distraction is when your mind is focusing. When your mind focusing and the half of your mind focusing on the point of the object of the meditation, half of the mind you think something else, no? Is that considered a distraction or not? Yeah, that is a considered distraction. Yeah, that is a partial distraction, subtle distraction. When one is we call the full distraction. First you have to understand the distraction. What is the distraction? How to overcome the distraction? That's a very important. Now the second thing is a meditator. I met a lot of people, they say they meditate 10 years, 15 years. I used to ask them which stage you have reached. They have no idea which stage they have reached. Still they are in the kindergarten. After 10 years later, I meet them, still they are in the kindergarten. They say they meditate. You got my point? Thing is that the meditation is like a journey, spiritual journey. You have to reach the destination. At least that you have to improvement. So that's why the stages, understanding the stages are very important. That's why the 9 stages. Now I will ask you the one question. How you will know you have reached the first stage? How you will know you have reached the second stage? How you will know it? That's a very, if you not cross the 9 stages, that means that your meditation is nothing. Just like a waste of the time. Very honest. Because you look at, if you have the $100,000, what you will do? I think that you will keep it, invest somewhere, no? Bank or somewhere. At least that you will get some interest, no? So same thing that now you're meditating, you are investing your time. You should have the very high return. That's what I teach. How you make the very high return. So that's why, okay. So that's why what I'm saying is that the first stage of the meditation, if you can focus any object without the distraction for the 1 minute, you can consider this as the first stage. Up till the 3 minutes, third stage. Fourth stage is not on the how long you meditate. Fourth stage is the how distraction, how you can overcome the distraction. That you have to look at that. So that's why the subtle distraction and the gross distraction, you have to learn very well. If you're a very serious meditator, okay, you have to pass all those stages. So that's why very important. Second thing is that as I mentioned before, meditator, because you are investing the time. Even you meditate the 10 minutes at the daily, really that is a time investing. So that's why when you meditate, you should know very well that whether you succeeded or you are reaching the higher stage. So that's why I always tell the people that if you start from the kindergarten, at least end to the university. Just don't remain in the kindergarten, hold this 10 or 15 years. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Question about when we see people being hurt all around the world. There doesn't seem to be a core self, they're saying. There just seems to be a blend of anger and compassion. So how do we work with this? They're saying that they don't see self-grasping, they just see this anger and compassion because they're seeing such a devastation in the world. So how to deal with these emotions coming up?
When they see what?
When they see people being bombed and stuff around the world.
Okay, first thing is that we have to know the one thing with the anger, no? When you look at especially like a war situation, it's really very sad. It's very sad. So what triggers the anger is the main reason is the things is not happening as you want. So that's why it triggers your anger. Sometimes your expectation is too much, beyond of the reality. You expect that everything goes as you want. When the things don't go as you want, then you will generate the anger. So that's why you have to, you have to know that things will not go as you want. So this is number one. Number two is the generating the anger. To whom you are generating the anger? That is very important. You are generating the anger toward, again, the one sentient beings. These all sentient beings do the wrong thing because of their ignorance. So root cause is the ignorance. So that's why also you should be more compassionate toward those persons who do the wrong things, because they are also doing the wrong thing because of their ignorance. So this is how you have to train your mind. Because like anger, sometimes, sometimes when you call the compassion, it is just like it's like an emotion. So that's why the Buddha said that every practice you should combine with the wisdom. So not just just like an emotion, that the wisdom is very important. So when you cannot combine your practice with the wisdom, then I think that your practice will not become very helpful.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Is there a last question here?
Yeah.
My question returns to this question about the innate positive state of Buddhism. So if I'm correct, you said that negative emotions come later in life, but then how would that explain our initial entrance into the world? We're already crying and we're uncomfortable in our body as a baby, our initial entrance is we're crying, of course, and upset and screaming. So how would that relate to this sort of, initial positivity that is supposed to come from Buddhism?
I don't.
Suffering of birth. If we have this initial positivity, you said your niece, I think, didn't get angry until like later. But how do then we explain this suffering of birth?
Suffering of birth.
Yeah, like it's so painful, babies are crying straight away.
Suffering of birth. So
What,
I don't
I
get
mean,
it.
like,
What's you're talking about? The suffering of
no,
birth?
like the baby when it comes, it's crying. As soon as it comes out of the womb, it seems like a baby's suffering from day one. Yeah, right? Yeah.
Okay. Let me tell you the one thing. There is a one senior monk and the one junior monk. They are crossing a bridge. And when they're crossing the bridge, the senior monk and the junior monk, when they're crossing the bridge, junior monk look at a fish and they say that the fish is really enjoying under the river. No, they are having the very nice life and they're enjoying that. So enjoying that life. The senior monk told the junior monk that, how do you know that the fish are enjoying? You are not a fish. So junior monk told that you are not fish. Now how do you know that you are enjoying? No. So the senior monk told that how do you know that they are not? How do you know that they are not enjoying? So you are not a fish. So then the junior monk told the senior monk that how do you know that I don't know about a fish feeling? Because you are not me. So same thing that the day one when the baby is born, the suffering, no? Whether the baby suffer or not, that is the one big question. Right now, that is the one big question that whether really the baby suffering, Buddhism perspective is a feeling. Baby cries. Whether it's because of the suffering or not, that's a one question. Now that I'm saying that it's suffering, I'm not saying it is not suffering, okay? Here the one very important thing you should know, the Buddhism what to say. When the baby born and the cries, all the surroundings, they will smile. They will be happy. Okay? Now, when we are the born, we are crying, but all the surroundings are smiling. When we are dying, all the surrounding cries, but we should die with a smile. That's the Buddhism tells that. How we born is totally done. We cannot do anything. Now how we die. Even when surroundings are crying, we should die with a smile. Okay? That the Buddhism tells that, teaches that. Okay.
Beautiful place to stop, Rinpoche. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Rinpoche's book, please check it out, A Monk's Guide to Finding Joy. And thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much, Rinpoche.
Thank you.
And also, sorry, I'm getting told, I just have to tell you about the next few Dharma chats on Wednesday, June 4th. We have Brendan Bach and Pema Sherpa talking about the Daily Buddhist. And then a special Dharma chat with Khandro Sering Kunga Buma, so Khandro Rinpoche. She is coming on June 9th, 12 o'clock. So we'll be doing a very special Dharma chat with Khandro Rinpoche, Khandro La. Thank you all for coming. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and good night. Thank you so much, Rinpoche.